This episode of Pool Magazine Podcast is proudly sponsored by Basecrete Technologies, the industry leader in cementitious waterproofing. Basecrete is the #1 all-in-one waterproof membrane and bond coat, delivering unmatched strength, superior adhesion, and long-term flexibility. Its proprietary blend of polymers and specialized additives makes it the go-to choice for protecting and repairing concrete in pools, spas, and beyond. When it comes to waterproofing, experienced pool professionals trust Basecrete. For more information, visit us on the web at basecretetechnologies.com.
Welcome back to another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast, the show where we dive into the latest trends and insights in outdoor living and poolside luxury. I'm your host, Joe Trusty, editor of Pool Magazine, and today we're thrilled to have Frank Vitori, owner of AquaBlu, joining us once again. Frank is our go-to expert on pool and outdoor living accessories, and today we're going to be exploring the hottest trends in outdoor furniture, in pool seating, fire pits, and water features. Frank, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hey, Joe. Likewise, pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Frank, to kick things off, can you tell us about the current trends that you're seeing in outdoor living furniture? I mean, what's capturing homeowners' attention this pool season?
Yeah, great question, Joe. It's no secret that the vast majority of new pool design is incorporating a sun shelf, a shallow water lounge area that's utilized for multiple ways, not only a design aesthetic, but also a place that's great to hang out with your family, especially families with young children. It's a nice little safe zone for everyone to participate and hang out on. I got to give a lot of credit to Ledge Lounger, right, for being the originators. Chris Anderson years ago, having the foresight to see, how much of a benefit these shallow water areas can bring enjoyment to the family. Starting with the single signature chase was the original Ledge Lounger product. I don't know if you remember that, but they start off with one chair. One chair. You'd come to the show and they were so small at the time, but to see them grow year after year has been pretty amazing. And it caught fire, man. It caught fire. I read a statistic, over 90% of pool design these days have the incorporation of a sun shelf. Some people also call it a Baja shelf, but really what it is just a shallow water hangout area. It brings a lot of aesthetics to a pool, but it's also extremely functional. And what we've seen is a complete transformation, an entirely new category of products for the pool industry. So no longer is it just Ledge Lounger, but you've got manufacturers like Floating Luxuries. 10 Jam is a new kid on the block that popped up maybe 2-3 years ago. We've got Studio Red Rock out of Arizona, which is doing cast concrete in pool furniture, doing things a little bit different. I'd say the cast concrete isn't something that people are even aware of that exists nowadays. Brand new stuff, manufactured in Arizona. These things are about 165 pounds. You set them in place. There's no filling mechanisms. We're finding that a lot of commercial resorts and hotels prefer this type of furniture because the guests can't move it around. So if you want something more permanent and something that you don't have to fill and something that requires virtually no maintenance, the cast concrete is really a game changer. First time we've seen this type of product being manufactured specifically for pool. But going beyond that, it's no longer just a chase. It's no longer just a signature lounger. We're seeing chairs. We're seeing rockers. We're seeing side tables with ice bins. A lot of them come with a 2-inch prefabricated hole. So you can also utilize an umbrella inside the swimming pool. You really just hang out on the ledge with your favorite drink under an umbrella with your side table and a comfy chair.
I've seen Studio Red Rock's offering. It looks like a really high-end product, and the precast concrete stuff is awesome. I mean, we're seeing that on the pool side too, plungy pools and other pools in the precast category. Let me ask you a question though, Frank. I mean, do you see any outdoor furniture lines that are modular or made to grow with the space? I mean, what are people looking for in terms of versatility with their pool?
That's a great question. I've seen a couple of changes getting back to, diversity of products. We're an official brand partner with Ledge Lounger, and we did like some of their new product collections that they introduced rather recently. One of them is called the Affinity Collection, and they're the only ones that have a day bed. Typically day beds don't go inside the pool. They go up on your patio.
Right.
But they actually have a day bed collection that can be used on the sun shelf, and it can be moved. But also part of that collection are ottomans, as well as, couches. So, homeowner can really figure out what pieces that they want and piece it together to make certain living arrangements, so to speak. Do you want an L shape? Do you just need the bench? Do you want the ottoman? Do you want to have a sofa? You can really cater the product to best utilize in your space, so to
Sure.
speak.
It's all about customization, right?
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
Well, at the end of the day, I know it's not just about looks. I mean, these pieces have to be able to withstand constant exposure to water and sun. Let me ask you a question I'm sure you get all the time. What should homeowners consider when selecting in-pool furniture to ensure both style and durability?
I would tell them to do their research and to buy from credible sources. So, for example, coming from the industry and being co-owner of AquaBlue Mosaics, we're pretty dialed in. We've got 6, I think, coming on 7 different manufacturing brands of in-pool furniture, all of the major brand names that you know and recognize. But since this category has become so hot, there's a lot of imitators out there, a lot. And a lot is also found online. Read the reviews, make sure they're using the appropriate, check the specifications, make sure that the stuff says that it's rated for pool, make sure that it's using the appropriate resins that aren't going to yellow over time due to UV exposure. Make sure that it's not going to become brittle and crack due to harsh chemicals and freeze thaw conditions, if you're living in colder climates. I think really what it comes down to, if you're on shore, reach out to a company like AquaBlue or another vendor that you might be comfortable with, but make sure you're buying from a credible source and learn about the brands, do a little digging. And each one of them, although similar, has their own unique selling points. And a lot of the unique selling points has to do with actually how the furniture is filled with water, believe it or not. Some you can set in place, some have plug systems that you need to pull the plug, you need to drag it to the deep end of the pool, flip it over, give it a little rock, fills with water, bring it back. Some of the methodologies of filling it with water and using it, some are more convenient than others. For example, Floating Luxuries is a brand that we absolutely love. They've got their Kai collection, and these things have a fill-in-place plug. You screw off the plug, it'll accept a garden hose. It's pre-vented, meaning it has a vent hole. So as you're filling it, the air is being expelled. And there's no rocking. There's no bringing that chair into the deep end. You just simply undo the cap, fill it with a garden hose. Once it's filled, close that plug and you're done. You're ready to go.
Love these conversations with you, Frank. I mean, you always got like a wealth of knowledge about what's the right product for a specific application. And that's why I love the website too. I mean, aquabluemosaics.com is a great resource because you got that live chat feature on the website and you actually have like support staff and people in your organization ready to answer questions. Like if a consumer comes on and has a question about a specific product and how it can be used, or if a pool pro wants to become one of your VIPs and join the network, that they have instant access to be able to ask questions on the fly when they want to know about a specific product. And I think that's awesome.
Oh, thanks so much for the kudos, Joe. We pride ourselves on service. Most of our staff come from the industry. If they haven't, if they're green, they go through training. We have trainings with our vendors, with our manufacturers. This way we have the correct information, to give our customers. So we really pride ourselves on separating ourselves from the pack by providing not only the best product assortment for pool, spa, and outdoor living, but also, pair that with the best service. And I think what's really unique is, as you mentioned, our chat is everything's in-house. Everything's in-house, man. We're a privately held company. And when it says you're speaking with Ryan, it's Ryan. We employ Ryan Rodriguez, and he's been with us for about 5 years. He's amazing. And you're getting the man himself. So the people you see in chat are the people that you're actually speaking to. You can call the 800 number and ask for Ryan, and you will get Ryan.
That's awesome. Well, let me switch gears with you a little bit because I wanted to ask you about some other things that are happening in the backyard. I know fire pits are a big staple in outdoor spaces. What innovative designs or materials are kind of gaining popularity in the fire pit selections?
Another great question, Joe. We try to cover all bases. 2 brand partners that we have is Prism Hardscapes and the Outdoor Plus. Both are US-based manufacturers out of California. Prism Hardscapes specializes in GRFC, cast concrete, fire and water bowls, as well as fire pits. So with Prism Hardscapes, if you're looking for a naturalistic look, if a customer wants the look of natural stone or travertine, they're going to get that with the GRFC cast concrete. It has a naturalistic look to it. It has that fine pitting that looks like natural stone, but the color goes through and through the product, which is great. So if anything chips, you're not going to see white underneath it. And they're also sealed. So everything is prefabricated, ready to go from Prism Hardscapes. If you want that natural look, they're the go-to. Now, with the Outdoor Plus, you're going to get your stainless steel. You're going to get your powder coated stainless as well as copper products. The copper is going to patina over time. You can get it in standard copper. You can also get it in hammered copper for that finish. Both manufacturers are going to give you a variety of ignition types. So you can have your standard manual ignition as well as full automation. One of the really cool things Prism Hardscapes has launched is their sunflower design, which is really cool. It's like a very modern design. It's a fire bowl only. This kind of breaks the mold of your traditional fire pits. It's really cool if you're looking for a designer statement piece. The sunflower fire bowl is amazing. Prism Hardscapes has done a tremendous job with this product. It's been turning a lot of heads, a lot of heads. Also sticking with Prism Hardscapes, they've got the Fairmont table. And the Fairmont's relatively unique in the fact that it combines two different materials. They've got their cast concrete, GRFC reinforced, but they also combine it with natural teak wood. And we absolutely love this product because AquaBlu, we're extremely coastal and nautical in nature. And you could just picture this thing being somewhere in the Northeast, a beautiful pool deck, maybe out in the Hamptons. Such an amazing and beautiful new addition from Prism Hardscapes.
Yeah, mixed materials is really popular right now too.
This is something new. So Ledge Lounger, as you know, we're also an official brand partner to Ledge Lounger. They've just recently launched their Halo fire pit. Have you seen that one?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so the Halo is pretty cool because it's utilizing, Ledge's signature materials. It's a resin product essentially. But the top swivels, ultra convenient. It takes a compact propane tank and it just hides right inside the fixture. I had the pleasure of speaking with the VP of sales, Matt. He gave me a little demo at everything under the sun.
Yeah, I was checking it out too at one of the shows earlier in the year. I think I was in Atlantic City. I got an opportunity to check it out. It looks like a really cool product, more of a turnkey installation for people that want to add a fire pit to their backyard too.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a great DIYer product. No need to connect it to a natural gas line or anything like that. It's just plug and play, almost like a barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like consumers are more focused on aesthetics, or is it more like heat output that they're looking for when shopping for a fire feature? I mean, how do you help guide them in balancing form versus function?
We always ask preliminary questions when we receive a phone call. What is your goal and what is the application? And what is the application is going to immediately cut out about 50% of the selection. Because if they're looking to do an outdoor lounging area or a hangout place, that automatically eliminates your fire and water bowls, your fire and water bowl combos. Those are purely aesthetic that go around the swimming pool, generally put on a pedestal. And it's usually part of the design process when you're working with your pool builder or contractor, because they're the ones that are going to be installing it. People that just want a nice warm spot to cozy up to, they're going to be looking at the fire pits. And the vast majority of the fire pits are plug and play. You can get them after the fact. They do have the option to link up to a natural gas line if you want to have an unlimited source, but all of them come, you can get them just to use with a simple propane tank. Some of them actually have add-on accessories to hide the propane tank so you don't have to look at it.
Let's talk also about the fire and water features. The juxtaposition of fire and water is really mesmerizing, but it really requires, in my opinion, careful planning to execute properly. So it doesn't look like you tacked on a fire bowl or that the features can just look out of place. But combining fire and water elements to create a really captivating ambiance in the backyard is still enormously popular with homeowners and designers. Can you share maybe some insights on the growing trend of fire and water combination features? I mean, are there any products that stand out to you in your mind?
There's always the staple go-to items. We look at the Caso, for example, from the Outdoor Plus, or the Lombard from Prism Hardscapes. Those are usually your staple items, your traditional square and circular fire water features that gets put on a pedestal. But I got to tell you, man, I've been getting a lot of custom requests and particularly happy to be associated with the Outdoor Plus because they kill it, man. We had a customer come to us the other day. They wanted to do a 10-foot long rectangular fire feature. That's not something that's standard. That needs to be manufactured and created. So, designers are taking advantage of custom abilities and really starting to push the envelope. So I've actually been very happy to be a part of a couple of cool projects this year that hopefully we'll get to chat more about and maybe do a feature in some upcoming podcasts or features with you.
Yeah, the Outdoor Plus is awesome, man. And they do that custom fabrication like you're talking about. Real big resource there.
Yeah, so a lot of times, the pool builder or contractor will have the ability to do the pedestals, but they need the internals. So we do custom pans, custom burners, and then their choice of ignition, from manual to full automation.
Let me ask you a question, Frank. Are there any underrated pieces or accessories that you think more homeowners should consider to complete their outdoor space?
It's an interesting question. And a lot of times we see customers just buying the lounger. We're just buying the in-pool chair. And I'm not sure if maybe they don't know, or maybe we need to do a better job about educating the customer. But many of the times there are side tables that also accept in-pool umbrellas. So not only can you have the chair, but you can have a nice side table that also has an ice bin, that also has a hole to accommodate a nice umbrella. So you can get a complete package. So, as far as some of our new marketing initiatives and efforts here at AquaBlue, we're working on user experience so that they also know that these additional accessories can pair up with their loungers and their chairs.
I know you've got a bunch of great pool projects that you've collaborated with your customers on over the years, but talk to me about one of the more recent ones that kind of speak to what we were just talking about. Is there one in particular that comes to mind?
We did a nice job in Massapequa, New York with Rob Greenwood Construction. It was for his personal home, but he ended up going with the Kai Shelf Lounger, and I do believe he got the side table and the umbrella as well. He contacted us, and at first he was just looking for glass tile. And from glass tile, we ended up having an entire conversation about, what he needed for his backyard, for his project. And it was like a breath of fresh air to him once he realized that AquaBlu's a one-stop shop. So then Rob, he decided to show us his design, his blueprint from his contract, what he had going on. And sure enough, he had a sun shelf. Imagine that. And, he was asking a lot of questions. Frank, you've got so much in-pool furniture to choose from. I see a whole bunch of different brands. What would you recommend? And he's also a bigger guy. I'm not a small guy myself. He wanted something comfortable, but something that would also look good. So, we intimately know our products, and I talked him into the Kai Shelf Lounger, man. It's a bit oversized, it's ergonomic, super comfortable. You fill it in place. It's got the fill port, super convenient. It's built for the bigger guy. Also came with the side table and the umbrella. And what's super cool about Floating Luxuries is everything's in stock. There's no waiting. We were able to get him his furniture and everything he needed in less than a week.
Before we wrap, Frank, let me ask you another question. What's your personal favorite product right now? Something that maybe hasn't hit mass appeal yet, but that you're really personally excited about?
Yeah, some products that we have that I don't believe get enough love that I'm actually really passionate about is Bondum. They're a commercial grade manufacturer of patio furniture, but as well as some in-pool stuff. And I'm not sure if you knew this, Joe, but AquaBlue, we do a lot of great things for ocean conservation. And in fact, a portion of our profits goes toward ocean conservation. There's actually a tab on our website that talks about our conservation initiatives, from the Coral Restoration Foundation to the Sea Turtle Conservancy. And we utilize a platform called Shop and Gives, and automatically a portion of every purchase is spread out upon these institutions that we support. One of the products that we absolutely love, sticking on that vein, is the Ibiza collection from Bondum, because they're actually fabricated from recycled ocean plastics. So Bondum 2 is a manufacturer that has ties to the ocean and promotes ocean conservation, so much to the extent that they're actually using recycled ocean plastics in their products. And the Ibiza, it's a beautiful lounger for in the pool, as well as the patio, that's made from recycled ocean plastics.
I'm glad that you hit on that, Frank, really, because one of the things that I happened to discuss recently, I gave a presentation to Master Pools Guild at their national conference. We were talking about pool design trends, and I hit on how sustainability is becoming so important in the backyard, not just with manufacturers in terms of, are they putting a special emphasis into using more recycled products or how they produce products, but also for the consumers. They want to feel good about the furniture that they're putting in their backyard. So I'm glad that you hit on that. I mean, Vondam is a great brand. I'm glad that the way that they manufacture their products helps them meet their sustainability goals, but it's also really sexy European style furniture that you really don't see that quite often in the backyard. So I'm glad that you hit on that.
Yeah, no problem. We're definitely seeing that it's a lifestyle choice, especially with the younger generations coming up. There's no reason that something sustainable needs to be ugly. It's just a choice. And to be honest, there's a little bit more of a premium in the manufacturing cost, but it's not significant enough. So with everything going on, I'm definitely pro sustainability when it comes to product choices. If I had my choice and I was trying to make a selection with two different items side by side, I'd go with the sustainable option.
Frank, as always, your insight is spot on. Outdoor living continues to evolve. You're right there at the forefront. I mean, you're helping homeowners and designers create some standout spaces. Thanks again for joining us and sharing your expertise. It's always a pleasure having you on the show, man.
Oh, likewise, Joe. Thanks for having us.
That's all the time that we have left for today. Make sure to like, share, follow, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast.
This episode of Pool Magazine Podcast is proudly sponsored by Basecrete Technologies, the industry leader in cementitious waterproofing. Basecrete is the #1 all-in-one waterproof membrane and bond coat, delivering unmatched strength, superior adhesion, and long-term flexibility. Its proprietary blend of polymers and specialized additives makes it the go-to choice for protecting and repairing concrete in pools, spas, and beyond. When it comes to waterproofing, experienced pool professionals trust Basecrete. For more information, visit us on the web at basecretetechnologies.com.